What is good, everyone? Today is September 30th, 2025. It's the last day of September. I took one trade today. It was a dub. I made about $8,200. Here is my 5 accounts on Tradeify. Made about $1,000 per account, and then I made $622 per each Top Step XFA account. Okay, so coming into this morning, I was leaning bullish. Currently rejecting a daily fair value gap along with a previous day low SMT. We're currently inside two 15-minute fair value gaps with session highs above and all-time highs as targets. Right. So here is our previous day low SMT. We also had this 4-hour fair value gap. Here is the 1-hour chart. Nothing really happening on the hourly. We're just building high time frame LRL. And then here is the 15-minute chart that I was talking about, the two 15-minute fair value gaps. So coming into market open, what I wanted to see was these 15-minute fair value gaps get respected, and then we can look for longs towards London and Asian highs. Well, that didn't end up happening. We ended up inversing the gap and then continuing lower. So what ended up happening from here? Well, we ended up creating damn near equal lows and relatively equal lows with this 15-minute unfilled fair value gap right here. And then there was also equal lows right here as well. So this is a high drawn liquidity. Why? Well, because there's an unfilled 15-minute gap, and also equal lows right here. And we just made relatively equal lows as well. So this was a high draw on liquidity. So what I wanted to see was price come back into this 5-minute gap right here. And then we shit the bed lower towards that drawn liquidity, and well, that's exactly what ended up happening. We trended higher into the 5-minute gap, creating an SMT with market open highs. We also had a plethora of other SMTs. We took out market open highs. These highs were also taken out. Oh, I thought we took out these, but I guess not. So we had the market open SMT, and then from here, we're inside of a 5-minute fair value gap. Now what am I looking for? Well, we have a 3-minute, or I believe it was a 4-minute. I took 3-minute. No, this one was a 3-minute. The 4-minute was the next trade. I took this 3-minute fair value gap inversion down towards these relatively equal lows right here. As you guys can see, we got a perfect inversion. I entered off of the very next candle, which was essentially the closure of the other one. Stops at the SMT highs, and then take profit just under the equal lows for a 1-to-1. It was almost a 1-to-1. And then as you guys can see, price ended up coming down and ripping take profit, and then we immediately reversed. So we ended up having news at 10 a.m. This line down here is previous day lows. So we ended up creating damn near equal lows with previous day lows. Like I said, we have news at 10. And then what ended up opening up? Well, we ended up having, get this out the way. This was the trade that would have got break even. We ended up having a 15-minute fair value gap right here where price ended up coming into, right? We get a 10 a.m. open high, because where's 10 a.m. open? 10 a.m. opens right here. Okay. So we have a 10 a.m. open high into what? We open high into a fair value gap, taking out this liquidity right here. All right, and then from here, what ended up opening up? Well, we had a 4-minute fair value gap that opened up, and we again got another perfect closure with a clear draw on liquidity lower. So even though I was bullish coming into the day, this was bearish market structure due to the fact that, well, we still had these SMTs with the market open highs, right? Here it is right here. And then we also had an SMT with these highs right here. So not only was it looking like this, but it also looked like this as well. So we had a double SMT. Okay, we had a 15-minute fair value gap tap. We had a 10 a.m. open high into the 15-minute, and then we had a perfect 4-minute inversion closure with damn near equal lows at previous day lows right here. So even though we had that previous day low SMT, this is showing signs of bearish sentiment that we want to go lower. So I forward tested this trade. Some people in my Discord took it, and it ended up getting break even, and I'll show you where we would have went break even at. So stops at the highs up here, take profit all the way down towards previous day lows. As you can see, first candle ended up going lower, and then, well, what ended up happening? We ended up shopping around, okay, almost getting stopped out. And then at this point in time, where is ES? What is the draws on ES? Well, ES had these equal lows right here, and then it also had London lows down here as well. Okay, so ES still had a reason to go lower. That is why I took this trade, because not only did NASDAQ, or I didn't take it, but forward tested this trade with the Discord, because not only did NASDAQ have equal lows with previous day, but ES had actual equal lows along with a London low that it was drawing to as well. Okay, so there was a 4-minute inversion. And I was like, okay, there's at the point in time where we entered, there was no break even point. I was just going to hold it. However, we ended up creating these 5-minute intermediate lows. Okay, we trended down, and then when ES ended up taking out these equal lows and London lows, I told chat to move stops to break even. So your stops should have been moved to break even right around this candle right here, even though it's horrible. But now we have a bullish SMT going against our bias. Why? Well, because all of these lows have gotten taken out now. So from here, what ended up happening? Well, price ends up reversing, and we would have got break even on this trade. So the reason I liked it was because, again, we had a 15-minute fair value gap tap. We had a 10 a.m. open high into the 15-minute gap. We had 2 SMTs, and then we had a 4-minute inversion with a clear draw lower. Okay, it's unfortunate that price ended up just chopping around because it was a beautiful, beautiful setup, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Now, if you trade ES, this was a perfect long right here. We ended up taking out all these lows, creating an SMT. We took out these equal lows, and we took out London lows, and then we got a perfect 1-minute inversion right here. Okay, enter off the 1-minute inversion, targeting these equal highs right here. ES just loves to leave equal highs. Okay, and we also had a whole bunch of low resistance liquidity. NASDAQ also had a reason to go higher towards London and Asian highs. Okay, so what ends up happening? Well, we retraced down just a little bit into a 5-minute gap, and then we ended up smacking take profit on ES. Again, I didn't take this trade, but this was another forward test. Beautiful inversion, tap a higher time frame narrative, see a V-shaped recovery, inversion, enter, target the equal highs up here. And then your break-even point, if you do trade on ES, was this unfilled 3-minute gap. We ended up inversing that as well, giving us more sentiment that we are going to go higher on the day. Now, there was a question in my Discord about 1108 longs towards, I believe, these equal highs up here. Give me 1 second. 1108 continuation longs. So I'm assuming right here was where the question was going to be asked, was stopped right here. Now, the reason why this wouldn't have worked out, oh, it was towards the unfilled 30-minute where we were targeting, which is right here. Okay. So the reason why this didn't end up working out was because price was super bullish already, right? If we want to take continuation longs, we need to see price come down into a 5 or 15-minute gap at or near equilibrium. Okay, so there was no 15-minute gap that opened up right here. And then, yeah, there was a 5-minute gap right here, but was it at or near equilibrium? No, it's still super premium. Okay, because where is equilibrium going to be at? Equilibrium is going to be somewhere in this range. So if we got a retrace somewhere into here and then got a clean inversion out of it, yeah, we could have targeted it. However, price already took out the targets for the day, right? The targets were London and Asian highs. There's no point for price to continue higher towards this unfilled 30-minute if we already took out the objectives for the day. So again, 2 reasons why this trade failed was because we weren't at or near equilibrium when we got a retracement into a 5 or 15-minute gap. We were super, super premium. And then also, our objectives already got taken out. So we had all this low resistance liquidity below us. So again, if we wanted to see price, or if we wanted to take longs at this point in time, I would want to see this low resistance liquidity get ran through first, right? Stop out all these orders with people having their stop loss at these orders, and then see an inversion out of it to continue higher. Well, what did we end up doing? We ended up just shitting the bed even more, and that was pretty much it for the day. I don't know what we ended up doing. I still can't believe these fucking lows down here did not get taken out. But yeah, we ended up essentially just chopping around. We're inversing gaps up, back down, back up. Like, you just don't want to be trading this in general. So that is why the 1108 longs didn't work. Like I said, took one trade. It was that 3-minute inversion down to that unfilled 15-minute with equal lows. And then there was also that trade on ES where it took out London lows, equal lows, got a 1-minute inversion out of it, and then we can target the equal highs up here as well. Okay, so that was the only trades really took today that really presented itself. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments. I will definitely get back to you guys. I look at every single comment. I leave my strategies in the comments along with, or in the description, along with my free Discord, so you guys can go ahead and join that if you guys want to. Okay, hope you guys had a great, Tuesday, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow for Wednesday.